What is up? What is up, guys? Welcome back to Two in the Zone. I was trying to fix my mic there, but I couldn't get to it. Everybody, hope you guys had a great weekend. It was a really nice weekend of Championship Sunday in the NFL. A lot of action in the NBA and college hoops as well. You have the one and only the GOAT Dead Press Picks, as well as myself, AC. Everybody, please give both of us a follow. Thank you so much for watching the show, giving us support. Give our sponsor a follow right there on the screen, 7Stacks Sports on Twitter. Sign up with them, get set up, and we'll hook you up some free plays. Me and Dad will hook you up. They are the best Twitter book around. They do minus 105 reduced juice lines. They have same day payouts if you're using cryptocurrency. 24/7 customer service because we've talked to people here in the States and Europe and also Asia, so they have it everywhere. And then also they've been books now for over 4 years with over 2,000 customers. So they are very reputable. Definitely check them out, 7Stack Sports, and let them know that either myself, AC, or Dead Prez sent you. All right, Dead. Happy Monday. How was your weekend, man?
Good, brother. Yeah, enjoyed a lot of football. Did not bet a lot of NBA this weekend, to tell you the truth. I was just, so locked in on the football games yesterday. But yeah, had a good weekend. How about yourself?
It was good, man. I got the first game right in the NFL, and then the second game wrong, but they were lower units, so not too bad there. NBA actually has been kind of heating up for me. I was on like Anthony Simons over. I was on T Wolves last night. That hit, so slow but steady. Keeping the volume down. But I think having this show, you and I kind of bouncing ideas off each other and kind of reading the games together have made us better cappers, and I think NBA is getting better and better every week we do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about it. Today we got a pretty good slate to hop into, AC. But even if you want to go over any games from yesterday, in particular, the one that stuck out to me, that Nuggets Bucks game, 136 to 100. Bucks struggling a little bit right now, right? They've shown the defense kind of has been inconsistent. What were your thoughts on that? I mean, Jokic again, MVP type of performance. Nuggets are heating up as well, and they're doing this again without obviously Jamal Murray. We knew coming into the year, with them Michael Porter Jr. season-ending injury. Pretty amazing the way they've been able to win games this season.
Yeah, I mean, beating the Bucks on the road by 36 points is not something to be quiet about, right? So props to Jokic and the rest of their team. They're just playing really well with all the injuries. Like you said, Michael Porter Jr. confirmed today he is out for the rest of the year. Just added, salt in their wounds. The Bucks, man, they were rolling with the big three, right? We talk about it all the time. Drew, Chris, and Giannis, when they play, they have a really amazing winning percentage. But you're right, they've been struggling. Maybe it's just because it's January and it's like the middle of the season, so people are not as motivated. But there were a couple big blowouts, right? We had the Bucks, big blowouts against favorites, right? Bucks, Hornets lost by 15 or by 25. Sorry, 25 to the Clippers. The Cavs lost to the Pistons. Like that's a big surprising one too. The Suns barely beat the Spurs. So there were a lot of weird results last night. The one in particular was the Timberwolves for me. I was on Timberwolves. It was my favorite play of the day. They ended up winning by 20 against the Jazz. I don't know if you've been following, but the Jazz are free falling right now, dead without Donovan and Gobert. I think they've lost like 7 out of 9 or 8 out of 10 or something.
And to add on to that, Joe Ingles out for the season. That was announced.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Torn ACL. So I mean, just they have been really getting screwed with injuries. And the Jazz over the last couple seasons, at least during the regular season, AC, they've been very healthy, right? So this is like the first time I feel like now they have to deal with some injuries. But I mean, Ingles, that's a big one. I know he's not as meaningful, obviously, as Mitchell and Gobert, but great guy on that team, locker room type of guy. He can really heat up, give them really good minutes off the bench, and he's a spot starter sometimes, especially when Mitchell's out. Suns, though, AC, I mean, I don't know if they're getting enough love. Like they're 40-9 now.
Yeah.
Looks like they were going to get beat last night at home. Would have been nice for us if we could have cashed that for the Spurs team total, because I thought they had no chance coming into that game. Suns weren't close to covering the spread, but they did get another win. They outscored the Spurs 36-19 in the fourth quarter. Devin Booker, again, huge performance. and Chris Paul 19 assists in the game. I mean, this is another guy who it seems like he's getting better at the age of 36. Do you think the Suns are the team to beat right now in the entire NBA?
Oh, clearly, clearly. I mean, you first thing you got to do is you got to go to last year's finals teams, right? The Bucks and the Suns. So the Bucks, we know they're going to be in it at the end, whether it's the Eastern Conference Finals or close to it, maybe even the NBA Finals. They have two-time MVP. They have awesome pieces around them. The loser of the finals last year was the Suns, and it looks like they got a lot better. And that's not because of like free agency or anything like that, but their guys just got better, right? We talk about, it's rare, but maybe Chris Paul has improved at age 36 or 37, like you said. Devin Booker is a legitimate all-star, a legitimate superstar. He should be starting, by the way. What a all-star snub there. And then two really big guys that have improved was Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Like they are legitimate, not only role players, but they could be stars on other teams. This is without DeAndre Ayton, man. Ayton's been out for I don't know how long, and they're still winning, like you said. So the Suns, to me, best team for sure. And then we say this all the time, but Devin Booker and Chris Paul are the best closing backcourt in the NBA today. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about that. All right, AC, let's wrap it up for tonight's slate. We got 8 games to get to. Again, guys, shout out to 7 Stack Sportsbook on Twitter, doing big giveaways every day. Did a huge one last night on the Rams, right? They came back and won. So someone, it was actually a guy who used to be a client on our VIP team, Pat, he was able to win the $300. I saw that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he's been doing huge giveaways. A lot of people are starting to sign up as we've done this show, continue to do the show, and everyone's loving the sports book. No surprises there, but again, guys, follow them on Twitter, 7 Stack Sports, best in the business. All right, let's kick it off here with the Pelicans and the Cavs. Cavs minus 6.5 in this game tonight, over under at 209. What's your thoughts on this one? As there's a lot of guys for the Pels you have to keep an eye on. Ingram, Valanciunas, I believe, is out, right, as well. So they're a little depleted here tonight. Josh Hart making news on the injury report day-to-day. Garland's also on it as day-to-day. So a lot of moving pieces there. But what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I bet everybody's thinking a big bounce-back spot here for the Cavs. They did just play last night against a really bad Pistons team and lost by 10. Shout out to Cade Cunningham, by the way, for dropping – for playing really well in that game. I don't know if he had a triple-double. Maybe he did. But, yeah, they lost to the Pistons, a really bad Pistons team, while 8-point favorites. So everyone's going to expect them to bounce back today. I actually don't like that, Dad. I would probably lay off this play. If I had a gun to my head, I would actually back the Pelicans here on the road, getting 6.5, maybe 7 points, depending on your book. I think the value is all on the Pelicans because I think – the Cavs are kind of going through it where maybe they don't get up for the really bad teams. They only play well against the good teams. So nothing for me here, but if I had to do something, it would be Pelicans. What about you?
Yeah, a lot of moving pieces, like I said, with the Pels, with Valanciunas and Ingram. So keep an eye out for them. Obviously, if they could go in this spot, I think it's a good spot to take the Pels. I think the Cavs are going to start falling soon enough. I know I keep saying it, but like, I don't know, like they're getting a lot of respect as far as the books, and understandably so, are concerned. But I like the Pels here with the points tonight, assuming that they do get their guys back for this game. All right, the Clippers and the Pacers. Pacers -2 in this spot tonight. I like the Pacers in this game. What do you like in this?
Another game where we align, man. This is going to be a VIP play for me. So shout out to everybody who's in the live right now. We have 150 in the live. The Pacers will be a VIP play. Reasons. Clippers playing really well. They just had a stretch where I think they won 4 out of 5, maybe 5 out of 6. Sorry, 3 out of 4. They just beat Charlotte last night. But they are in the middle of a super long road trip. I think this is their 6th or 7th game on the road. And then they're going to fly back home to LA and won't play again until Thursday. So they're actually, this is the last game on a long road trip. Those are the type of spots I like to fade. Again, second night of a back-to-back. Pacers coming off a really disappointing loss against Dallas. It was Rick Carlos' return to Dallas. A lot of emotions there. And they haven't been playing really well at all, and they're favored today. So I think it's a big Pacer spot. They're slowly getting their guys back. Sabonis has been back for a couple games now. Brogdon and Turner will come back in a couple games. So I think the Pacers are going to start slowly sneaking up on people dead. I do love the Pacers tonight.
Mhm. I was looking at the Pacers injury report just in general. Like, I haven't realized how many guys this year, right? We know Brogdon, Levert, and Sabonis, they've dealt with them, and then Turner's been out. But also, like, I forget about like T.J. Warren on that team, right? T.J. McConnell off the bench. Like, they've just had so many guys out of this lineup this season because when they're fully healthy, I think they're a fringe playoff team. Like, I think they're definitely getting a play-in spot.
Hey, news flash. I guess forget everything I just said, man. Forget everything I just said. Sabonis is out tonight. Sabonis is out tonight with COVID. I think this is his second bout with COVID. I don't like the Pacers anymore, to be honest.
Just
I'm gonna
flip it.
backtrack. Yeah, I'm gonna backtrack.
We're just kidding.
It's still a great fade of the Clippers, but my confidence in the Pacers trying to kind of just taking care of business is a little bit lower. It's still a Pacers spot. I just don't love it as much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tough again with the health and safety protocols. Again, with the injury report and COVID, man, it's so risky locking in, a play. If
Yeah.
it used to be a thing where you could beat NBA lines. Now it's like you're really playing with fire, locking something super early. All right, Sixers and Grizz tonight. Another guy out. Like if you get picked up, this is a perfect example. Last night, right? If you're like, Sixers are playing well, -4 at home, and you try and beat the line there and take them. Well, now Joel Embiid is just out for no worries here. Just out for a little bit of rest tonight. That makes the Grizzlies -3.5. So first, they say, are you surprised how much Embiid moves the line? Because this is almost an 8-point flip. It was -4 Sixers. Now
No,
it's
man,
3.
he's the MVP. He's the most valuable player on any team. It's
Right.
basically between him or Jokic. So no, like in theory, let's talk about like not even lines, right? Just like you and I talking about the game of basketball with the Sixers. Without Embiid, they're like 20 points worse, right? Let's be honest. Like it's more than just the scoring and the rebounding, but he runs the offense. He's their best interior defender. He can shoot threes. He's the great free throw shooter as well. So I mean, like the guy affects the game in every single situation. So no, I don't think 8 points is that much for him.
With that said, do you have any read on this game? Because sometimes we know about that
Yeah,
superstar out.
superstar out angle in the NBA. I think it's not as crazy as it was last season.
Mhm.
But there's no way I'm going to back the Grizzlies in this. I think at this point you're just chasing steam. It's up
Yeah.
to 4 points now. Maybe a live spot, right? Maybe the Sixers come out really hot in the first quarter, and then you could take the Grizzlies live, or maybe the Grizzlies second half. But no spot for me here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you here. I think it's a good layoff spot. I still think the Sixers can get it done here.
Yeah,
At home, they're playing real well. Obviously, huge loss with Embiid, but I mean, betting the Grizzlies at this point, you're just getting the worst number available. All right, the NBA TV game of the night. So I think this is the only nationally televised game. The Heat and the Celtics. The Celtics are up to -6 in this game for a reason being that the Heat have a lot of guys out of the lineup tonight. Lowry, Markieff Morris, Butler, PJ Tucker, KZ still out of the lineup. And then for the Celtics, you just have Schroeder listed day to day. So assuming they're fairly healthy again,
yeah.
the line has just continued to move up. 6, it's even 6.5 some places at this point. Do you think it's a Celtic spot here at home?
I do. So I mentioned that you shouldn't, chase steam with the Grizzlies. That's really all reaction because of Embiid. This is they were already favored before all these guys were out for the Heat. So I think that the books already expected the Celtics to win. Now without all of those Heat players, they just expect a blowout. I don't know if I could do it up to like 7 or 8 points, but maybe 6 is close because that's still just two possessions. So I do like the Celtics to kind of take care of business today.
Yeah, I think it's a Celtic spot as well. I think they kind of roll in this one. Maybe a first half Celtic spot, like 3.5, get a little bit of a shorter number. Heat is so depleted in this spot. Celtics at home, and again, they're fairly healthy for the NBA in terms of being healthy this season. All right, the Kings and the Knicks. Knicks have just continued to disappoint, 23
Mm.
and 27. Watched the game a little bit against the Bucks late on Friday. Just that second half. I mean, Julius Randle, it just seems like this year could not go worse for him. Pressing continuously, just trying to, I think at this point, trying to do too much for the Knicks. The one bright spot since Cam Reddish has been acquired, I know he hasn't like played, but RJ Barrett seems like he got a lot better, doesn't he? Like he seems like he might be the guy that they can lean on. But 23 and 27 currently out of a playoff spot. But luckily for them, they get the Kings tonight, who are just worse than the Knicks. 18 and 33. Knicks are, however, a 6.5 point favorite. Are you laying 6.5 for the Knicks?
I don't know if I could do that, man. The Knicks, it's tough because I do think they have a lot of heart on this team. They just don't have a lot of talent, to be honest. They've lost 6 out of the last 7 games. The Kings have lost 5 straight. So you're basically seeing 2 teams that are just free falling right now. I'd say this: the Knicks do a little better at home. They cover against the spread at home. They're 12 and 14, whereas the Kings are only 9 and 14 away from Sacramento. So the spot here could be New York. It looks like De'Aaron Fox is questionable, most likely out tonight. So it's probably a Knicks spot for me, but there's no way, like you said, I'm going to be laying 6.5 points for the New York Knicks.
Yeah, now I'm looking here. I couldn't get there with them. And then again, with the Kings, man, I don't trust them either. I think this is the poster child of a game to just stay away from. The over-under is interesting at 212.5 because the Knicks have been a good under team. But the Kings don't play any defense.
Yeah, there's no defense.
It could be a game where the Knicks run it up a little bit. So probably just a complete stay away game for me. All right, Raptors and Hawks. I don't want to give myself more credit here, AC, but since that Hawks win over the Bucks, they have ripped off, 7 in a row now?
Yeah, they're on fire.
The issue here tonight, and the reason the Raptors are favored, Trae Young, questionable. Looks like he'll be a game-time decision for this game. So assuming Young doesn't go. So I believe they opened up at like -2 with Young. Now they're a 1-point dog. Either way, I like the Raptors a lot in this spot tonight. I think this is a good fade spot on a red hot team. This could be a regressional spot at home. The Raptors are finally healthy, where they have Siakam, OG, Van Vliet, Barnes, and then Gary Trent Jr. is just quietly having a great season, right? I mean, this guy can shoot the lights out. Currently, he's hot, and the Hawks are such a bad defense that playing such a good defense like the Raptors, this is a game I think the pace favors the Raptors. I think the matchups favor the Raptors. So Trae or no Trae, I like them in this game. Obviously, I'd prefer him not to play, being on the recent tear that he's on. He's having a great year. He's a phenomenal player, but I mean, even if the Hawks were -2 at home, winning all these games in a row, I think that line's off. I still think that would have meant it's a Raptors line. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, for sure. A short favorite at home against a really hot team. Like you said, the Hawks have won 5 straight. So it is definitely a Toronto spot. And not only, you mentioned, a lot of their guys are back healthy, but they're quietly on fire themselves. They're 15 and 6 in the last 21 games against the spread. That's one of the best, if not the best mark in the NBA in the last 21 games. The Hawks, I think without Trae, there's not going to be enough offense because even when he doesn't score, he just, just takes so much attention towards him and allows guys like Horter to eat or, John Collins to eat. So I feel like without him, it's going to be it's going to be pretty hard to score on Toronto. I know Toronto plays really fast, but they do have a ton of athletes defensively that are super long, super athletic, from Barnes, Siakam, OG. So I think Atlanta's going to have issues scoring the basketball today. I do like the Raptors tonight.
With you there. All right, let's move along. 2 games to go. Again, shout out 7 Stack Sports for giving us the opportunity to bring this show to you every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then our special NFL show during the postseason that has been great, getting great results. Had how many AC last week? Like 8,000 on that one. So we had a bunch of people. Had a great guest, Joe's picks on that. Hopefully we can get him on the NBA show this week or next.
We analyzed that Bengals game perfectly.
That one we were wrong.
Yeah.
We're almost the Rams too, right? We were close enough.
If that guy didn't drop the touchdown right before the half,
right,
I think the Rams would have rolled. But because he missed it, and then it became, I think it was a tied game at half. I forgot, but
they were down 3.
Yeah, they were down 3. Yeah. It is what it is, man. I mean, you got the -3, which is great. So you paid for that hook, and it worked out. I was on 3.5. It didn't, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, we'll get it back tonight. Right?
Yeah, we'll get it.
Rockets. I was going to say Raptors, Rockets, and Warriors tonight. Rockets are a 11-point dog at home against the Warriors in this spot. What's your thoughts on this? I'll go first in this game. I like the Rockets team total under at 110. It's 109.5, 110. You got to shop a little bit. Warriors defensively have been. I think that's the best part of the game. Now I know Draymond being out is a huge loss because he's their
Hmm.
best defensive player. But I don't know. Like again, every time I look at the Rockets, I'm like, how is this team going to score 100 points, let alone 110? I know they shoot a lot of threes, right? They kind of play with somewhat of a pace to them. But I don't know. What do you think in this game? Do you like any angle? I think the Rockets team total under is a good look for me.
Yeah, team total works. You're right that not many people talk about it, but the Warriors' number one thing is their defense. They
Mhm.
are a top three defensive team. The Rockets are young. They are getting Christian Wood back tonight, so that does help their offense a little bit. I'm trying to see if there's any props on Kaminga because I think it's going to be a blowout. So I think Kaminga is going to get a lot of run, especially in that second half. Can't finally find anything, but maybe we didn't talk to Stacks to add
Yeah.
something on his book there. But I do like kind of the bench players of the Warriors, so like the Jordan Pooles of the world, Kaminga, maybe some other guys there. I think they're gonna get a lot of run, a lot of minutes played in the second half. So I think they're gonna hit all their props. As far as the side in this game, it's for me, it's Warriors or nothing at all, even at that -11 number. But I'm just never gonna bet anything that high. So lay off for me.
Yeah, it's tough because with props, like you mentioned, like in a game like this, good players, I think you go under, right? Because
Hmm.
again, if you're liking the Warriors, so I mean, even Rocket starters, like you figure if they're
Hmm.
getting the break speed off of them, that they probably will pull them out in the fourth quarter. So props in these games is scare me unless you go under because like you could have Steph, I don't know what his over under tonight. Say it's like 27 and a half. He drops 15 in the first half. He might not get there because he's playing one more quarter, right? So well, just something to always take into factor as well with the prop market. All right, Blazers and Thunder. This is going to round us out tonight. AC, the Blazers a 4-point favorite on the road in this game. Do you have any thoughts on this one? We know with SGA being out, that is why the line is where it is. Do you think that the Blazers take care of business on the road tonight?
I do. I say this. I had a buddy just sent me some really good data. OKC is the worst first quarter team in the NBA. I had no idea. I thought it was either the Pistons or maybe the Rockets, but it's the Thunder. They get outscored by almost 15 points in that first quarter, which is by far the worst. And then one of the worst fourth quarter teams in the NBA is actually the Blazers. A lot of people talk about Dame and Dame time and all that, but he's been out for so much of the season that the Blazers have been struggling crazy in the fourth quarter. So maybe it's a Blazers first half spot and a Thunder second half spot. But man, this game's hard. Like you said, it's minus 4 without Shea Gilgis. I would have expected it to be higher, right? So if it doesn't go higher than 5 or 6, maybe it is an OKC spot. It is still a very feisty team at home, Giddy and Dort and those boys. So um, I don't know. Maybe I would do Thunder second half if they're down by double digits.
And you made the point about the Thunder first quarter. The Blazers have actually won 8 of their last 9 first quarters. So that could be a good spot, right? Like a first quarter bet on the Blazers, maybe a first half type of bet. And you're probably going to get, what is it, like -1.5,
Yeah,
-2. So, I
yeah.
mean, you're not really betting on much. It's just tough. I mean, the Blazers are definitely the better team, especially without SGA in this spot. So maybe I'll take advantage of that as well. I think that first quarter could be a good spot there for them. And like you said, as the game goes on, maybe you look for the Thunder in the second half. All right, AC. I think we were able to get through all the games. Anything else to add in on the slate tonight?
No, that's it, man. Thank you everybody for jumping on. Again, give us a follow. Give Seven Stack Sports a follow right there on the screen. Thank you so much, everybody, and good luck on your bets.